What is up, YouTube? I am Cosmic Fro, and today we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat 12 and what I anticipate for the game at launch, as far as the gameplay systems go, how the game's going to be played, what the tournament scene is going to look like, how, the art style is going to look, the direction of the game, all these things I kind of just want to talk about in this video. I don't really want to talk about characters or anything that has to do with roster because I've already done that and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube for that already. So if you guys wanted to see my roster predictions, it's up on the channel. But today we're going to be talking about, you know, what I expect for the launch of Mortal Kombat 12. So, I mean, if we go back in time to the launch of Mortal Kombat 11, the game wasn't complete. There's a lot of things I've seen from the community talking about how the game ended, but if we go back to the start of Mortal Kombat 11, the game wasn't launched complete, and they shouldn't get a pass for that. We couldn't use special custom variations at the launch of the game for ranked or competitive play. Most of the moves, the inputs for the moves, they had similar bindings, so you couldn't use some moves together. And the whole just custom variation system here was so diluted. You know, characters' base move sets didn't mesh well with a lot of the moves. And I think that was for balance purposes. So I think for Mortal Kombat 12, what they need to do is they really just need to take a look at the roster, see how they want a character to play just in mind. They have a design philosophy for that character. They take all of these moves. If we need Z inputs, from some of the anime fighters or, harder inputs just to fit a lot of these into the moveset, I'm cool with that. And I think a lot of people would be too. But I really think they should just go back to archetypes, right? Just make it so that sure, you can play the character the way you want to play them, but you might not do well because that character is designed to play this way in a very yeah, special way that they intended, and that we can figure out, uh, which is how it used to be. So I really prefer that to custom variations. But if they were to do variations again, um, you know, if they were to do it in the vein of Mortal Kombat X, where they design the variations around the character, um, better than 11, I would say, then do it that way. But it seems like a lot of work. I would just prefer they design the characters and make more characters than kind of just doing all these special moves for characters and having the base move set be kind of mundane. So for variations, that's kind of what I want to see for the launch of Mortal Kombat 12. Moving on from the variation talk, let's talk about cosmetics and the overall art style for Mortal Kombat 12, as well as the music, stuff of that nature. Just things talking about the direction of the game and the cosmetic, the gear grind, as well, because I know that is a topic of contention within the community right now. So let's just start by saying, yeah, cosmetics, they shouldn't be locked behind single player content like towers, uh, the crypt, like things like that. I think while yes, it's good for maybe NetherRealm, uh, and the stats, how many players are playing at one point, how many hours are sunk into the game. It isn't good for the player base. It isn't good for the players. It isn't fun. Like most of us, when we buy these not most of us, I should say, but a lot of the players that want to play more competitively or play online, play ranks, play with their friends, you're not unlocking anything by doing that. Except for these combat league skins where maybe you rank up and you get a cool little skin there. You're not really getting anything for playing online. So I think yeah, they need to make it so that by playing online, by actually playing against players and leveling up our skill in the game, that we unlock cosmetics through that option as well. We should get currency to be able to unlock the cosmetics we want, or just give us alternate skins from the base game. either way, I'm cool with it. I know by taking away cosmetics that might anger a lot of people, so I'm gonna sit in the middle on this one. I really if cosmetics return, great. Um, if they don't, cool. Just make them cool cosmetics that we can all unlock. Either through the crypt and in-game currency that we earn, or by completing challenges online like number of wins or hitting a certain rank, things of that nature. So yeah, lessen the grind pretty much. Just make it so that we don't have to grind brutalities, fatalities, all these things. Make them so that we can just get what we want for playing online. So that's what I want to see cosmetic wise. Let's talk about the music, okay? Because this I'm personally not happy with at all. All this orchestral, you know, epic conclusion sounding. Uh, it just doesn't sound good. The chorus in the background singing as high as they can, and the main menu. I don't know, guys. I personally really don't like the Mortal Kombat music as of recently. I know this is kind of just like pin picking, and maybe the music will grow on us, just like 11. We kind of just got used to it, but for me, I really hope they go back to like the techno or metal. They introduced that into some of their stages, or let us. You know what would be even cooler? This is just on the spot. Let's just have a system like Guilty Gear where the game has soundtracks, and you can buy the soundtracks with the currency you earn and pick it so that whatever stage you're playing on, no matter what stage you're playing on, you can pick a soundtrack, and between you and your opponent, whatever soundtrack you guys have picked, it can play it. Or you can, kind of just shuffle the soundtrack, or uh, unlock soundtracks from previous games and have it play. On your end, you can just have the soundtrack playing for you, and your opponent's listening to a different track, if that's the way it wanted to go. But I think music definitely needs an overhaul. I'm really not a fan of all this orchestral, you know, sounding music. So I really hope they go back to metal, techno, the things that really fit well with Mortal Kombat. Personally, I don't think rap is great, but we all listen to a form of rap. So yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to what they do there. All right, so moving on, I kind of want to talk about just the general art direction, or kind of mood, art style that Mortal Kombat is going in, because 11 wasn't the best, and I'll explain why. I think Mortal Kombat 9 was great. Had a lot of cool gore mid match with the battle damage. I really liked that. I grew up with Armageddon in 9. 9, I was kind of becoming a teenager at the time and was playing it all the time. But I really enjoyed, during the course of the match, the fighters would get more and more damage. And you can see, like, Sonya here. I just did a full string, and, there's hardly any cuts, any bruises, but there is blood on the ground, right? And this is particularly a Mortal Kombat 11 problem. Mortal Kombat 9 had the battle damage. Mortal Kombat X was fast and dark. It had like a dark tone, so everything looked more brutal because it was faster. They didn't particularly have crazy battle damage like 9 did, but everything just looked brutal because it was fast. And uh, I enjoyed that. It was vicious. But with Mortal Kombat 11, like when I say superheroes, or the ninjas feel more like superheroes than they ever have. I think it's because uh it's a lighter tone, and I'm not saying they have to go back to the dark ages of Mortal Kombat X as far as tone goes, but I think, like, if you're gonna have bright colors like 9, you need to make it like, if I'm damaging Sonya, yeah, we have blood on the ground, right? Which is good and all, and yes, she's getting more bruised. Um, but I'm doing this damage here, and I'm not seeing anything. Look at her body. Like, if I'm doing stuff like this, like, Sonya is not. She has little blood splatters on her body. That's about it. minus the crushing blows. Yes, those are brutal. Minus the fatalities in every game, those are always going to be brutal. I think during like the course of the match, it needs to either feel fast. Not either. I honestly think they just need to bring back battle damage, just like 9. Harp into the gore again, and have the option to turn it off for tournament play and for people making content on YouTube, because I think the gore is so sick. Like when you're playing a game, you really feel like these ninjas, these supernatural humans trying to rip each other's heads off are really going all out when there's battle damage, when their face is like their jaws exposed, their rib cage is starting to come out, their after a KB, maybe some bones are sticking out. I don't know what they could do with the new engine, but I really do think they need to dig into the like mid-match gore. Um, Make it faster, of course. I already kind of talked about that, but um, yeah, just make it so that, yes, have the colors, have it be bright, but make it so that when we're fighting, you kind of go, ooh, like that looks like that looked like it hurt, like these guys are really trying to kill each other. So, yeah, that's just a thing I kind of wanted to point out and bring attention to. I also just briefly wanted to talk about the tournament scene and potential system mechanics that we could see introduced in Mortal Kombat. Maybe a couple ideas. So let's start with the tournament scene. We all see Street Fighter 6. We know what's going on there. The payouts are astronomical. $1 million is on the line, and players are taking it serious. It's getting really serious for Street Fighter. There's a lot of attention on the game, and because of that, players are going to be more motivated to be the best, right? The excitement level is as high as it's ever been for Street Fighter, and I think Mortal Kombat needs to match that. WB, the Mortal Kombat franchise is much bigger than what the payouts are speaking for it. We have movies coming out. Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out. There's a lot of just different things happening with Mortal Kombat. The animated shows. Mortal Kombat is popular, and if you throw money like $1 million, like $2 million, like what Capcom's doing, it's it's gonna blow up bigger than we've ever seen. And Mortal Kombat is already huge in the West. Just imagine what $1 million is gonna do for the rest of the world. And not saying the rest of the world doesn't play Mortal Kombat. Hell, Brazil, Russia, England, every Mortal Kombat's everywhere. And if you want it to get even bigger than what it already is, then let's get serious. Let's get serious, just like Capcom is. So yeah, that's kind of briefly going over what I expect for the tournament scene. Now, as far as gameplay mechanics go, I think that the refillable gauge here just needs to go. It promotes defensive play style, and Mortal Kombat has always been an aggressive game as far as the remakes are concerned, right? We don't need to go back to MK1, MK2. I think that was just lazy marketing and didn't really help. Like if we have regenable bar, what this is going to promote is for us to just kind of sit back, wait for our stuff to come back, and then we're good to go. We have breakaway again, right? We have all of these different defensive options again. So it promotes methodical playstyle when I don't really think that fits Mortal Kombat. So just get rid of the regenable bar on defense and offense. Make it so that we have earnable meter, and the meter is used universally, just like it was in X and 9. You can give us more bars, or change the way that meter is gained, but make it so that we earn it, right? Promote aggressive playstyle. Definitely get rid of breakaway. I don't need to go over that. We all know the evil villain of Mortal Kombat 11 was breakaway. I also just wanted to briefly point out, I didn't include this in the original video, but flawless blocking, if they wanted flawless blocks to return, they could bring it back, but I don't think you should be able to flawless block out of any hit state, out of any plus frames. You shouldn't be able to flawless block when your opponent gained their pressure, right? When on hit, you should not be able to flawless block back to gain pressure, right? It should be from neutral or from gaps in between strings. I think that's just fine. You know, it still requires counterplay in that regard as far as jump ins are concerned, and you know, gap strings that might be plus on block. But if the opponent hits you, you shouldn't be able to flawless block. You know, from their plus frames. So yeah, just get rid of that feature, and I think flawless blocks would be just fine. So I kind of wanted to talk about some ideas that I had for promoting aggressive play. These are just ideas of my own, kind of pulling from other games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. So let's just talk about it. First, we see Fujin pull out the sword there, and Raiden has this. We kind of speculate that Mortal Kombat 12 will have 3D era influence, you know, whether that be characters or, if they do bring characters from the 3D era, there might be some 3D inspiration. And so, fans might know where I'm going with this. Maybe a weapon system introduction into Mortal Kombat. So let's say, you're playing Scorpion and you do teleport. If you hold down like a button, like let's say left trigger, you hold down left trigger after teleport. Maybe Scorpion keeps his spear out, and then the entire move list is doubled, completely different in conjunction with keeping your spear out. And you can easily put it away by tapping left trigger, mid combo, things of that nature. So you're not restricted by the weapon. I think that would be really cool and would help in keeping the gameplay fresh, especially with the removal of the variation system, even though that wasn't that fresh, right? I really do think a weapon system could be cool. It's just an idea that I had, but if they did it right, you could have all new special moves, all different strings, and you can flawlessly swap between them mid combo. I think that would be great. Yeah, it's just an idea. So the other idea I had has to do with meter, and this is coming directly from Street Fighter 6 with the drive gauge mechanic. And I'm not saying Mortal Kombat has to be Street Fighter or kind of copy Street Fighter, but I do like what I'm seeing there, and it does promote aggressive play. So let's just say you use all of your bar, or no, let's just say you use Breaker, right? You use Breaker on defense because we all want Breaker to come back, right? All right. Let's say you use Breaker. Then after you use Breaker, let's just say you're exhausted, right? So you kind of like glow gray, like Street Fighter, or you're just there's a way you can tell the character is exhausted. Okay. Then while you're exhausted, the opponent can use all of their crushing blows, or when your opponent is exhausted, you can use any crushing blow that you want, and the opponent is completely vulnerable. Maybe you're more plus on some strings. Maybe you're able to get more hits done, and allow for more combos, things like that. I think that would be really cool. And if the opponent wants to escape this exhausted state, they either wait out this timer, take the offense and all the pressure, or they hit you and immediately escape the exhausted state, which promotes aggressive play on defense as well. Just another idea that I had, not saying they're obviously well into development on Mortal Kombat 12, but I just wanted to, kind of bring these ideas to the table. I don't know. Just having fun with it. But whether they decide to go with more of a Mortal Kombat 9 pressure-based, making the opponent decide when to press on block, kind of aggressive pressure-based playstyle, or a Mortal Kombat X 50/50 fast reactionary gameplay style. Either way, I would be happy. They could do something in between the two. They could do something completely different, but the general community agrees the game needs to be faster, and I think that's the direction they need to go for Mortal Kombat 12. So lastly, I think we need to talk about crossplay and parity for crossplay between all modes. While crossplay, yes, was available between consoles on rooms, you couldn't play Versus or King of the Hill on crossplay. Uh, so I think if they want to bring crossplay, do it between all platforms. Have the new consoles and PC, have parity between all game modes so that everybody can play together. And just add tag team. Give us tag team. Give us 4 players in a lobby, maybe 5 for a spectator slot, so that we can have tag team tournaments, stuff like that. That would be amazing if they brought tag team back. But that's could be wishful thinking, but I really think it's a fan favorite and that they should bring it back. But if they should bring back or bring anything into the game, it is crossplay. 100%. It needs to be available at launch between all platforms, and that's all that really needs to be said. And of course, as I'm finishing the video, Ed Boon and Mortal Kombat have dropped a teaser for Mortal Kombat 12. They kind of just sent a thank you video for 30 years of Mortal Kombat. It was really heartfelt, really amazing. But at the end of the video here, we get a teaser from Ed Boon for, what we all believe to be Mortal Kombat 12 here, kind of blowing up the community a little bit. And I thought I'd just include it in this video so we can kind of see the sands of time here, every grain dropping into the last grain here kind of explodes, indicating maybe something going on with the timeline, or Liu Kang messing with the sands of time. Maybe Garrus is feeling things he hasn't felt before. Somebody just hit bingo. The ball dropped. Who knows what's going on here, but Mortal Kombat 12 is on the way. We can see from the sands of time chamber. Maybe this is the timeline we're gonna be in. Who knows? But I'm excited. We're all excited. Thank you, NetherRealm, the entire Mortal Kombat team here, and we're all just looking forward to the next game. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.